Hello! I'm inserting this after the matter of fact, so you can skip since this will be all of the last of the episodes. Time codes. I'll give you the time codes here, and you can skip to whatever episode you want, and I'll see how many time codes I'll put on the screen. But during editing, probably the beginnings and outros. So, and then the conclusion. So, there you go. And I hope to see you all. I hope you all enjoy this kind of format. We'll see how this goes. And in the future, I will probably be doing this for like maybe these kind of huge compilation videos for maybe 2 or 3 per season. Maybe 2. Regardless, I hope you'll enjoy. And thank you all very much.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the blind commentary of Jormungand, Season 2 Episode 10, third last episode. Hopefully now I will be able to put all of these episodes in one video. If I am not mistaken, then this will be a little bit of a longer video. So, hopefully I remember to do that. And, well, I do remember to do that, that's not going to be a problem. I'm going to be editing all. But regardless, hopefully this will be coming timely. So, regardless, it's gonna be interesting to see how the series will end. I've been expecting it quite a while. It has been a while since I've done like proper commentary, but I don't think it'll be a problem. Hopefully the sound outside won't be too bad because it's summer, so recording on summer will be during summer will be a pain. So hopefully the sound won't be too bad. Because there's a lot of birds out. But yeah, I do remember a little bit. So it has been far too long. Maybe I should have watched the previous episode, but since it's a non-continuous story, it's not that important to keep a complete track of everything that has happened. So I do believe it is just time for us to begin properly. That was a horrible sound. I'm sorry. Let's go. Now you will be... Excellent. Now you will be seeing my mouse here, so I can actually use pointing. So. I do like that the Bookman's character is being consistently still being the same, just using blackmailing and such, just like information as a weapon. So that's still a nice little consistency. It's a nice little amount of consistency there that has remained. So I generally do like that. It has been a while, but I will still skip the opening because it's easier to avoid all the problems just by opening. Guantanamo. Things are heating up. The operation is going underway. I do like how much there's just like actual military gear. Just I have commented so much on the series, so it's gonna be hard to come up with new comments. But I do like that the tension is rising very efficiently, and once again it's pretty cool that the soundtrack is once again synchronized the action itself, and it starts picking up when the action itself is starting to heat up, but only minutely so. It's not too sudden of an increase, but it's definitely noticeable. Yeah, I shall adjust the noise suppressor. Hopefully it's proper now. It's pretty nice that Lutz made a comment about the environment once again being against them. So it's pretty good that it's nice that environment has been considered, that even though their group is very proficient. Our protagonist group is very proficient at their job. They still are at a maybe not at a disadvantage, but they are, because they are kidnapping somebody, but they are still having troubles because of the environment specific. And that kind of thing is very important to take in note of, because it does throw off your aim and just make everything a lot more difficult. So that's good that that was mentioned. Aerial support is, it's pretty good that they are, it's not just that the ground troop is going into battle, but there's like aerial support as well. I do like how much their organization works as an organization, so it's just very proficient at its job. That's nice. I just like the general proficiency that they have, even though they do have difficulties sometimes. It's not like they are like immortal, definitely not, and it's not like they are just like invulnerable or untouchable, but they still do have tricks up their sleeves, and they are definitely a proficient group at their. They know exactly what they're doing. So I like that. I like that a lot. That is, even though that was mostly just by coincidence, it was the fact that they fell was kind of somehow was definitely something that was heralded by the fact that it was raining and storming and just like windy, and even though it was Jonah's concern for his comrade that caused that, it still makes sense that that kind of little problem happened, and I like it. It's a problem that they have to deal with. And that's just like nice conflict that was organically set up there, and it was already foretold, like that fact that we are next to Cuban border. So yeah, it's just a very good setup. Generally, it's really nice that the global situation has been taken into account, and the fact that it landed on the western side of the border. That note there is very important. It's very good that they took note of that. So I do. There's minor details here that are very good at reinforcing the general idea. So yeah, I just once again props. We are about to witness Jormungand. Now I want to see exactly what kind of thing that will be. It's definitely gonna do something with electronic warfare, because that's like for certain the thing. Information warfare is the future. So excellent. How do we get back with willpower? Yes. That's a really anime thing to say. I love it. That is excellent. The topographical information was wrong because of Jormungand, so that is a very good way to showcase that they had wrong information and how the Jormungand actually works, and that is by probably some kind of electronic interference, but unseen, the way that it just gives out wrong information, and especially wrong topographical information, and just kind of it seems very obvious that the Jormungand is a weapon of logistics tools, and it's fantastic. I'm absolutely thrilled by it. I do believe that Jonah will be kind of, maybe not excited, but will be happy about the tool, because it seems that Jormungand will be a tool to, you know, go through information warfare and win battles without actually fighting. So, you know, a bloodless resolution to conflicts is always something that will be, you know, preferable, because needless loss of human life will be kind of just, it's always bad to lose human lives without a good reason. So if that can be avoided at any cost, it's always fantastic. So that's definitely a very good tool. But that kind of means that they have, depending on how effective and how powerful that tool is, it might give them a monopoly on information, and that could be just tremendously powerful. They decide who fight and when, so and where. So that could be just immensely powerful. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how exactly that will play out.
お嬢さん関連でちょっとあってドタバタの最中なんだけどねスケアもう魔法か何か使ったんじゃないかってね
The fact that she could intercept the data link without actually hacking it, definitely rather impressive. So that is quite something.
魔法ですか逮捕してやるなんつって追い回してたつもりなんすけど
のような人間は嫌いだ情報とは高価なものである秘匿性が高くなる
Information is extremely valuable. Now couldn't you say that when you're holding such a powerful tool? That is just a double meaning if I've ever seen one. Like, considering how powerful that Jormungand will be, is actually like, it's just ridiculous. That's funny.
金で買えるとは限らず一つの情報を得るため一生を費やし命を散らす者もいるハッキングに長けいろいろな情報神を超えているな
That is pretty insane. Having the capability to just completely seal off communications and just transportation just in general, at least electronic usage, and basically everything in the current world uses electronics. Having the capability to just control all of that, that's insane. So that is definitely something worthy of a god complex.
ヨルムンガンドの犠牲者の数3822人ってたった70万人
Okay, so 700,000 people is... That is... I mean... Wow, that is pretty... That's quite a lot. I mean, yeah, okay, that... Maybe not everybody will die, but... Still, that's a lot of people that will just suddenly... Yeah!
それがどうかしたよな
That is quite something. Let's see if there's an after. Oh, it's just a preview, as per usual. Okay, so that is quite the ending. That is quite the cliffhanger to leave the show on for now. But fortunately, you guys don't have to wait at all, because episode will be continuing immediately. But I will first give up some thoughts here in the middle. So it is. I wasn't surprised that Jonah pulled a gun on her, because that does make a lot of sense, all things considered, and yeah, it does make sense that he pulled a gun on her, because that is 700,000 people. Even that is an insane amount of people that would just die, even though it's not going to talk about certain topics, but still, that is a lot of huge sacrifice to be making. Now, of course, the power. It's. I mean, the world isn't just going to surrender all of a sudden, and it definitely won't stop all of the warfare, because there's still warfare that doesn't use electronic devices on land all that much, and that general communication and logistics can still be traversed with just analog devices. So it's not like that will shut off everything. Jormungand isn't like an all-powerful tool, but
geez, that is just an insane proposition to cut off all of the military operations by basically holding the world hostage. And I can see the idea behind it, but I can see the idea behind it, but it's definitely pretty freaking insane. Oh my. Yeah, but we will be continuing on to the next episode. So, I thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode, which will be in like a couple of seconds. So, gun out, have a great day, and stay awesome.
Hello everybody, time for the next episode of Jormungand. Jormungand season episode 11. So second to last episode and the ending of the last episode. One day. Recording the episode. So ending of the last episode, we saw Jonah's reaction, the realization. Also, I'm standing, by the way. We saw John's reaction to the fact that how the Jormungand will actually operate and what will be the sacrifices just in generally made to facilitate its functionality, which would be around 700,000 people. No, that's a genocide if I've seen one. So it's gonna be interesting to see exactly how this will all resolve. So, without further ado, I guess just begin the actual show properly. That is quite the fantastic, like a visual representation there, that they are completely on the opposite sides and opposed to one another in ideology and just in general their thought patterns in the situation. The fact that they really are not seeing eye to eye here. No matter how much they are staring at one another, they are staring daggers at one another. And this is just a fantastic scene here. I just really like it. This is already quite a good conversation. So, yeah. Let me put a little bit. Yeah, so,
70万人の犠牲のことなら必要最低限と言ったでしょ。まさかヨナも今の第三次世界大戦では何人死ぬ。私は世界が大嫌いだよ、ヨナ。
That is such a nice parallel, and we are getting a really good glimpse at Jonah's, like, I like that we are basically having Jonah's, like, Jonah is the protagonist and we are following his. No, Coco is the main character, but he's not exactly a protagonist. But I do like that the world is tilted here, like, to represent the proper way of Jonah's thought patterns, how just messed up this whole situation is. But I do like that kind of visual over there. And once again, it's just like reinforcing the fact that it's reinforcing the paradigm that while Jonah said that I love this world, Coco is saying I hate this world because it's so cruel and unjust. And it's just a fantastic little paradigm there. Just nice reflection. I really do like that, how they are complete opposites of one another. Stop. That's really good.
道端に死体が服従なんて思考停止してるやつとかガスで膨れ上がった死体より臭い。
That is interesting. I wonder how Coco feels about Lem, who pulled a gun on Jonah now, simply because Jonah pulled a gun on Coco. I wonder exactly how exactly Coco truly feels about her bodyguard, because it's quite an interesting dilemma there, because they are basically her private soldiers.
戦争で子供が死んで悲しみに満ちてみて、次の年にはまた子供作っちゃったりしてて、この子を戦士、私が世界の破壊ではなく世界の修繕を望んだことがね。武器のな。
Interesting that says that she has decided to mend the world, but she has named the weapon or the tool to do such Jormungand, the world-eating snake. I wonder exactly what the parallel to that name will. Why exactly he chose that name, because that is a very meaningful name. So very weird. I wonder if there's gonna be more meaning behind that, and later on in this episode, next episode, because it definitely that there's a weight behind the world name, and there should be some purpose behind the name for the magnum opus here. So I wonder exactly what that will be. That is interesting that she's. God, I really am talking quite a bit here, but let me just. So, like I said there a second ago, but my recording kind of messed up. It's interesting that Coco said that they can see eye to eye in this situation, even though I previously kind of already pointed out that they definitely do not see eye to eye. But I can understand why Coco could misconstrue that situation as in the fact that they are basically seeing eye to eye, but they are seeing the world from different perspectives, but they're arriving at the same conclusion, which would be the fact that the optimal situation would be a world peace, a world without weapons. And well, Jonah doesn't have a realistic way to go around doing that, but you know, they can definitely see eye to eye on that situation. So it's definitely interesting. Like I expected, they could not see eye to eye in this situation. So they definitely have the same ultimate goal, but even though, like I said, Jonah doesn't have a realistic way to go around doing it, accomplishing that goal, they definitely do still hold the same view, even though they are kind of mirror reflections of one another. So. How is this going to resolve? So, how is this going to resolve? Jonah basically lost his entire family, or surrogate family in a way, or the group that he had friends with. I would presume he considered them his friends. So, it's quite a lucky coincidence that Jasper was there to pick him up, but it's interesting. I don't know. I have no idea I have very little idea where this is actually heading to. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly whether Jonah will kind of like fight against Coco or not. But I don't know.
いや何君は感情の起伏が乏しいイメージだったんだがエドガーとアランとポーは甘々だけどチェキータさん
Edgar, Alan, and Poe. Seriously? That's quite something.
厳しいから気をつけろ
なんで私だけ悪者にするわけ
知ってるしないなそうヨナはきっと自分で考えて答えを出すよココのところに
I'm really interested to see what kind of conclusion Jonah will eventually come, because I'm fairly confident that there's no way that he can actually influence the outcome all that much, but it's going to maybe we'll see how the show has been fairly realistic, so I don't think Jonah can actually take down single-handedly an entire unit of elite soldiers. So, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
彼は頭いい子だよ。テストや勉強はひどいらしいけど。そうだよ。彼は南も似たようなとこあるけど。ないない、全くない。何言ってんの。で
I do. This is a pretty interesting aspect to talk about, but I do like that kind of the people who hold the keys to power here are all female. That's pretty nice. That's mostly because, just, it's just very nice. Because there are some shows that really have a very messed up gender dynamics, but here it's pretty interesting. I don't know. I like it.
あんたこれからどうすんの？武器商人のお仕事を続けますよ。ここに立ち寄る回数は確実に増えると思うけど。そっか。じゃあ、ひとまず温泉入ってさっぱりしなよ。
としてはどうなんだよ、お嬢のこと。
ルツってそういう話題っつうか質問っつうのか好きだな。
聞いてばっかじゃねえ。今回は俺にもちゃんと考えてることがある。
ほう。じゃあまずそれ聞きたいね。
Now this is going to be very interesting because we haven't really heard much from the other kind of like main side characters, whatever, like the other characters from the group, at least in a while, and especially now considering their thoughts on Jormungand and Coco, this is going to be something that it will be really enlightening to hear about. So it's going to be interesting to see how divided their opinions will be and how decisive their judgments will actually be.
いいか？俺はここんとこお嬢の行動に強引さを感じてたわけ。誘拐作戦とかいろいろあったじゃん。
ルツはいちいち突っかかってたもんな。
私は
あれは言わなくても分かってる。
Well, that was very nice to hear all of their opinions, just in general. So, and while they all gave their support for the plan. It's just generally nice that they all had like generally just speaking about it, they all had like different ideas why exactly they gave their support. So it's good that they are not exactly a hive mind and they all have like different opinions why exactly the plan is like good idea, and there's like different ideals to strive towards. So that's excellent.
ご無沙汰してますブックマン。ココヘクマティアルです。動揺してる便に乗れ。夕方には北アフリカに着くはず。グッドラック。
何の誘いだ。まあ行くしか方法はないようだ。
Well, considering that they're talking about taking down all the planes, taking a plane seems like a risky proposition, but I don't think Bookman is going to be one of the first victims. But that's entirely possible. There's a definite chance that Bookman will be dying in a plane crash here in a few moments. But that would be for one of our so-called antagonists, or opposing forces rather. That would be a bit anticlimactic, although the show has never been too much for extra drama, so I don't know. Maybe.
ああ、もう時間食った。大佐を待たせるわけにはいかん。
Did Coco just throw Cuba and US into war with one another? That's insane. You don't say. I like those parallel reactions. This might have been a trap, and that was this a trap? That's just fantastic. I love how much parallels the show is just doing, like just in general with a lot of these things, and it has some poetic irony to it. So it's just I really do like how the show is handling it situation here.
怪物の段階を一つ飛ばして現世界最強の存在に。
I really do appreciate that. I really do like that Bookman is just like immediately on top of the like situation, and it's like, oh my goodness, so this is what's going on. We have a god against us. I do like that, and it's not an over exaggeration because, I mean, considering what just happened, yeah, Coco kind of orchestrated that whole situation up, just probably to showcase to Bookman that I control the world, and that's just, you know, that is a pretty good show of power.
なぜ世界征服しない私がこっち寄りだということをここヘグマティアルは
Indeed, it might have been wrong to call Bookman to be on the opposing side, although they are definitely on different sides of the conflict and just in general different sides of the story. It is very obvious that they do still like, I mean, I believe most people would still strive for okay, New World Order sounds really bad, but you know, Alt World Peace sounds a lot better, so that kind of sounds rather promising.
とっくに気づいていたさっき私を殺さなかった理由だ
職員を暗殺する計画を実行したと言うんだが
So, information control. That is just complete information control. That is just that's too much. That is pretty insane, I gotta say. It's a shame that he will go away and not see his daughter, but you know, that is quite something.
終わったまあ
になりながらも
行くぞヨナ
僕は武器商人と旅をした
That is just a very nice parallel to end that on. So, we got to see more of a demonstration of the power of Jormungand this time around, and just more of it in action. And it just sent a message to Bookman that Coco controls the world, basically. Information is under her control, and whatever she wants to do, she basically can. And she's basically manipulating the whole world under her heel without an issue. So that is, I would say, that is just a fantastic way to have the for us to walk into the finale, and it's going to be quite something to see because we also had nice book endings here with Jonah, because we started with Jonah leaving the group and we ended with a scene of Jonah in another group, and we'll have to wait and see how exactly that situation will resolve, because Jonah is definitely going to be an important piece in this whole situation, and I don't know exactly what his decision will be. It's very obvious that he won't be sticking with Jasper's group for long, so I don't know. It's going to be really cool to see how exactly this all pans out and how successful the Jormungand will be, and whether there's a possibility to reduce the casualties that are inevitable, and how exactly the world will change. So, I don't know. It's all quite exciting. So, with that said, I think I'm done with this episode, and I will be recording the next episode as soon as possible, which means for you, I'll see you in a couple of seconds, basically. Gunmu out. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another blind commentary of Jormungand Season 2 finale. So, it's going to be interesting to see how exactly it all pans out. I kind of took a sneak peek and saw that there's going to be a 2-year time skip. And that is very exciting, because I was wondering how exactly they were going to resolve, because it's not like changes in the world will be happening immediately. So, time skip is, in my mind, a good solution to fast forward the world and see exactly especially for a finale, to see the consequences of Coco's actions, and more specifically the activation of Jormungand itself. Now, I did notice that the title for the season is Jormungand Perfect Order, which is a rather fitting title, I would say, because for many reasons, but mostly because that does have a lot of it has some symbolic significance, but it also has some really important meaning for the ending. So now I think I've rambled long enough here. We shall begin properly. I hope that I changed everything proper settings.
この2年の間ココはヨルムンガンドを実行しなかったみたいだ
And I am immediately going to have to pause because the fact that Coco never executed Jormungand is quite... Why exactly would that happen? That is going to be quite something. Well, that is quite a good mystery already. I know, 20-second scene and we are already at pause.
空は塞がっていないそしてココが言った
根元がなくなっちゃったからかつてのユーロ圏は全ての国が地下鉄
It's quite something to see. The world has literally fallen into chaos without the activation of Jormungand. That is quite something. I definitely expected Coco to pull it off, but well, she was correct in the fact that sacrificing those lives could have saved a lot more lives. Well, most certainly, I would assume that 700,000 people have already died in 2 years, even though there hasn't been a world war, because there's worldwide conflicts everywhere happening. So it's, well, it's pretty cool to see the globality of the series once again peek its head, and we are seeing effects all around the world, and just generally conflicts all around the world. And while it's not, of course, any happy news, but it's, once again, one of the good parts of the series is the fact that it's global, and the fact that it realizes that, well, there are more conflicts everywhere in the world.
貧困層の役人を攻撃する
内戦と化す気配ありだなバランスをとってるのがアメリカと新ソ連なわけだがポーランド MD も白紙化したし
新ソ連
That is quite something. New Soviet Union. That is a rather peculiar topic. I would really like for them to dwell into more into that, but honestly, theorizing about it could be as fun as well. So it's that is quite something. Yeah, all new Soviet Union and America once again in a US in a peculiar balance. It's quite interesting, I must say. I really do like that kind of aspect.
新冷戦は相変わらず世界の脅威だよ兄さんが今乗ってる大
カカ
気づいていたかふふ
That is quite something. She's making a seat of power. I wonder exactly who will be invited to that, and whether the world still will be engulfed in war. I really expected her to pull off the Jormungand, but that is odd. Well,
僕もこの業界長いからさ顔見たら大体分かっちゃうんだよ考えてること彼の名誉のために言ってる荒れてるな
この発射場が一番マシ流れ弾がロケットに当たらなければいいだけよ
I do wonder exactly. Coco doesn't have her old group anymore. Her bodyguards are gone. Has she become like a sole actor? That's very peculiar. I wonder exactly what happened. That is very intriguing.
あのロケットのペイロードフェアリングに詰まっている量子コンピューターだヨルムンガンドの2つ目の頭脳よっしゃい
So the seat of power was prepared for those three. I was expecting that, so not a big surprise. So they are So the old group is still guarding. I wonder why Coco exactly went to see the launch off. That makes sense. Kinda. So is this just the initiation of the Jormungand? That would make sense.
「子供たちが大学に入るまでヨナと僕で支える。試験は一発勝負。これでどうだ？
ありがとう。
Casper is being just like awfully friendly here. Not only will he let Jonah go, which is already in itself a miracle, but he's still promising to support those 3 children in Japan. It is really magnificent, magnanimous of him though. That's really weird, but I believe he does. It's just tells us a lot about his character. So that is, I would say that is pretty magnificent characterization done on his part, that he has kept his promise all this time and is not going to break it. So that's kind of admirable for someone as scummy as an arms dealer. So that is definitely, I mean, that might have been a misjudgment, but whatever. It's pretty cool.
お礼など、君も随分金を出しているんだからな。だが、それを差し引いても君は結構金持ちだぞ。スイスの銀行。
That is quite something. It's so hard for Jonah to give up the weapon, his last weapon, his backup weapon. It's understandable why exactly it would be difficult for him to give up basically his whole identity with the fact that he would give up the weapon. But of course it's like he's stuck between 2 worlds, and I do like that kind of dilemma that he's faced with here, with his overfilling urge to give up all weaponry and commit to the world peace completely on his own and become a pacifist probably, and the fact that he is talented and grown accustomed to weapons. I like that there's a symbolic wind of change here breezing through the world. And going through the main, important characters. It's very nice symbolism there. Now, I wonder exactly why Coco delayed her plans for 2 years. Might it be because she wanted to give the world time to prepare? Don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yona 様がご来店。
That is a very lovely reunion for the group. Even though it is, I wonder if it's completely by coincidence. Probably not, considering that Coco controls the whole information network now, and if she wants to, and she's in good contacts with her brother.
みんな。
結局こうして迎えに来る形になったわけだが、これからどうすんの？
すなわち、ヨルムンガンドも完成し、あとは起動の信号を送るのみ。その暁には九段の侵略軍すら止めてみせる。2年考えて答えは出たか、ヨナ。
Did she actually just give Jonah 2 years to wait? That is quite the sacrifice.
頭いかれてるのはどっちだ？
それで本当に平和な未来が来るのか。
And now I just to clarify, I obviously don't think that she gave Jonah just 2 years to mull over the plan, because that would be just silly. But she did prepare instead, so that's what I believe.
知るか未来のことなんて。でも考えてみる。ヨナとみんなを巻き込んだ元武器商人の関係。
Former arms dealer. That is quite a significant line there. I do really like that.
僕は世界の個々に行かれてると思う。僕は個々についてる。
That is excellent. That is a very nice ending. The beginning or ending ending the whole series with the beginning of a new world order. That, and I know that is a very, what I just said is kind of a loaded term, but new world order is definitely something that will engage that will begin from the activation of Jormungand there, and yeah, that is that is impressive. I do like that. There's just like very interesting. There's a very interesting argument about utilitarianism here that's being made, and I do believe that that's just a point in a more more subjective war-written world like that. It's an interesting way to think about it. How many lives is it worth sacrificing for a greater good for complete world peace? Because world peace is something that, you know, would be pretty much like if you were given 3 wishes, one of them would most obviously be world peace, and it's dependent on the person will be high up on the list of their wishes would be the world peace. But I do believe that is just a universally preferred outcome for the whole world. That whole, maybe not unification, definitely still world peace would be something that most people would prefer. And this is such an interesting way to approach it that I really am kind of surprised at how this series went off. I had no idea that that's what that would approach, but I do like that that is where the show ended on. Now the show also, just in general, had really nice book endings, with the beginning of the traveling of Jonah traveling with an arms dealer and ending with Coco and a former arms. Now that is, just in general, I would say that is pretty magnificent. So I quite like that. Just in general, I do like the show, but I'm gonna do the review section later, but I don't know if I'm gonna take it. Maybe I'll put it in a separate video. But I do like this final episode. It is very good, and it's a very good way to cap off the series, and it shows a lot of how the characters have grown in general. So, and how the few characters, because a lot of the adults don't grow that much, but it has shown how the world has progressed and the need for Jormungand in a way. Like I said, utilitarianism. How many lives can you sacrifice for world peace? Yeah, I do like that. I like it a lot. So, without further ado, I have nothing else to say, and it has been magnificent to watch the series. I do like it quite a bit. Now, I do have my own problems with it, but those are mainly just pointless problems. I do have my own criticism, and we'll go into those later on in the actual I just finished video. But for now, I thank you all very much for watching, and I'll hope to see you all in the future. Next up, well, you will just have to wait, because that's gonna take a while, because I'm gonna go through like 6 episodes for the next video. So, now, I thank you all very much for watching, and I'll hope to see you all in the future. Have a great day, and stay awesome. Ganmu out. Thank you.